Chapter 23 Catching Seagulls. So, get ready to catch seagulls. And earthworms down, and the tail of earthworms, which looks like food for seagulls, and up, and James hide himself and to wait for seagulls, flying seagulls. And grasshopper, ladybug, and push down earthworms, not to be packed by seagulls. And spider and silkworms give a loaf strings. And James has a loop of strings when seagulls fly down, and James can throw the loop like a cowboy. Anyway, the centipede is down, and also glowworms to make it light inside, and all insects can see what's going on. At last, James caught a seagull. 1, 2, 300, 200, 501. They were all exhausted as James got sweat, and they were afraid, and shark steels were attacking the giant fish. But at the moment, something happened, and the seagulls flew over and pulling the strings which was tied to the stem of the giant fish. It worked, and the giant fishes slowly flow, and then landed, took off the sea, water. They were flying. Chapter 23. In a flash, everybody was up on top. Oh, isn't it beautiful? They cried. What a marvelous feeling. Goodbye, sharks. Oh boy, this is the way to travel. Miss Spider, who was literally squealing with excitement, grabbed the centipede by the waist, and the two of them started dancing around and around the peach stem together. The earthworm stood up on his tail and did a sort of wriggle of joy all by himself. The old green grasshopper kept hopping higher and higher in the air. Ladybug rushed over and shook James warmly by the hand. The glowworm, who at the best of time was a very shy, silent creature, sat growing with pleasure near the tunnel entrance, even the silkworm, looking white and thin, completely exhausted, came creeping out of the tunnel to watch this miraculous ascent. Up and up they went, and soon they were as high as the top of a church steeple above the ocean. I'm a bit worried about the beach, James said to the others as soon as all dancing and shouting had stopped. I wonder how much damage those sharks have done to it underneath. It's quite impossible to tell from up here. James looked like a captain. Why don't I go over the side and make an inspection? Miss Spider said. It'll be no trouble at all, I assure you. And without waiting for an answer, she quickly produced a length of silk thread and attached the end of it to the peach stem. I'll be back in a jiffy, she said, and then she walked calmly over to the edge of the peach and jumped up, weighing out the shreds behind her as she fell. The others crowded anxiously around the place where she had gone over. Wouldn't it be dreadful if the thread broke? The ladybug said. There was a rather long silence. "Are you all right, Miss Spider?" shouted the old green grasshopper. "Yes, thank you." Her voice answers from below. "I'm coming up now." And up she came, climbing the foot over foot up the silk thread, and at the same time tucking the thread back cleverly into her body as she climbed past it. "Is it awful?" they asked them. "Is it all eaten away? Are there great holes in it everywhere?" Miss Spider scrambled back onto the deck with a pleased but also rather puzzled look on her face. "You won't believe this," she said, "but actually there is hardly any damage down there at all. The fish is almost untouched. There are just a few tiny pieces out of it here and there. Nothing more. You must be mistaken." James told her, "Of course she's mistaken," the centipede said. "I promise you I'm not," Miss Spider answered. "But there were hundreds of sharks around us. They churned the water into a broth. We saw their great mouths opening and shutting. I don't care what you saw." The spider answered, "They certainly didn't do much damage to the fish." "Then why did we start shrinking?" the centipede asked. "Perhaps we didn't start thinking." The old green grasshopper suggested perhaps we are all so frightened that we simply imagine it. This, in point of fact, we're closer to the truth than any of them knew. A shark, you see, has an extremely long, sharp nose, and its mouth is set very awkwardly underneath its face and a long way back. This makes it more or less impossible for it to guess its teeth into a vast smooth and curving surface such as the side of a fish. Even if the creature turns out onto its back, it still can't do it because the nose always gets in the way. If you have ever seen a small dog trying to get its teeth into an enormous bowl, then you will be able to imagine roughly how it was with the sharks and the fish. It must have been some kind of magic. The ladybug said the holes must have healed up by themselves. "Oh, look, there's a ship below us," shouted James. Everybody rushed to the side and peered over. None of them had ever seen a ship before. It looked like a big one. It's got 3 funnels. You can even see the people on the decks. Let's wave to them. Do you think they can see us? Neither James nor any of the others knew it, but the ship that was now passing beneath them was actually the Queen Mary, sailing out of the English Channel on her way to America. And on the bridge of the Queen Mary, the astonished captain was standing with a group of his officers, all of them gaping at the great round ball hovering overhead. "I don't like it," the captain said. "Nor do I," said the first officer. "Do you think it's following us?" said the second officer. "I tell you, I don't like it," muttered the captain. "It could be dangerous," the first officer said. "That's it," cried the captain. "The secret weapons hold cakes, and send a message to the Queen at once. And the country must be warned, and give me my telescope." The first officer handed the telescope to the captain. The captain put it to his eye. "There's birds everywhere," he cried. "The whole sky is teeming with birds. What in the world are they doing? And wait a second. There are people on it. I can see them moving. There's a do. I have this darn thing purposely right. It looks like a little boy in short trousers. Yeah, I can distinctly see a little boy in short trousers standing up there. And there's a sort of giant light bulb." "Now just a minute, Captain," the first officer said. "And a colossal green grasshopper." "Captain," the first officer said sharply. "Captain, please. And a mammoth spider." "Oh dear, it's been at the whiskey again," whispered the second officer. "And an enormous, simply enormous centipede," screamed the captain. "Call the ship's doctor," the first officer said. "Our captain is not well." A moment later, the great lounge ball disappeared into a crowd, and the ball